Hi everyone, welcome back to this series where I am attempting to fix and repair this Panasonic Q Nintendo GameCube. So far we know it works, it reads this and output to a TV, but the actual main drive is knackered and needs repairing. Today I'm going to attempt to fix the drive, leaving me with hopefully a fully functional Panasonic Q. The parts I needed for this repair today have actually been provided to me by Retro Refurb, who is an eBay seller here in the UK that sell many kits, tools and essentials for modding and repairing retro games consoles. These parts hopefully will fix this obvious problem. The wonky drive, the missing front and the fact that it won't open. Here's an overview of what it looks like on the inside. Here's the DVD drive. First we're going to take off the lid. Then we remove the disc tray, which then allows us to unscrew and take away those broken rails. Then we'll put in our new 3D printed rails, the disc tray, put back the lid on, and finally, hopefully, that shiny disc tray cover to complete the front aesthetics. But first we've got to get to the drive. To prevent this video from being about 7 years too long, I am going to speed through a lot of the teardown stuff. If you are watching this video to get any tips and advice, don't be afraid to reach out your questions below in the comments thread. More broken bits. So this literally is crumbling as we're taking it apart. Look, another big old chunk. Now this is further than I got even on my original teardown when I got all the loose bits out. As we take off the front, you can see the Panasonic Q inside is more like a PC. It's obviously this DVD drive section here that we're going to work on today. So to work on it, I've got to disconnect it from the main housing. There's 4 ribbon cables and connectors before I can disconnect it. Huge piece of one of the rails just came out. Man, I thought I got all this stuff, but still loads of it. When we put it back together, this will be a finished single piece. First, we're going to disconnect these two parts, right? And there's, believe it or not, even on this drive, there's there's 2 boards and a few other ribbon cables. So, yeah. So here's the main tray for obviously the disc drive. And look, here is the remnants of the right hand side of the tray. So all those broken bits, you know, that even today we've pulled out. And this rail, this is one of the rails that would slot in like that. Now at the heart of the drive, I can rescue screws and I can get to the main pieces that we were looking to do today. So here is the lid and here is the main drive. Now the drive section is one of the bits I wanted to quickly show. So you see this broken chunk. I think that is why the main front wouldn't stick on the main drive. And earlier on, I was able to clip that onto the new drive. So you can clearly see the difference between the two. And look, another huge piece has just fallen off, so I put this thing down. Look at this. This whole rail is done. It's junk. Let's get rid. Well, that is interesting because this rail was relatively okay. This is the one on the right hand side of the machine that still had some support, which is causing my disk drive to basically be wonky on the inside because I still had some support. Okay, so we've removed all of the scraps of the old rails as possible, and I've rescued as many of the screws as possible as we're going to need them. So now let's get started installing the new rails. Now before moving on, I just wanted to stop and reflect on this drive while we're here. Look at this guy. Look at the construction of this DVD drive. You've got your raw basic components. You've got the laser, the reader, the motor, the gears and bands leading the drive tray. Just sitting on this metal sheet. It's crazy. I know I'm not an expert at all in this field, but compared to some of the devices you see these days, it just feels so homemade. And like, especially with the plastic rails. But then again, that works in our benefit here, guys, because obviously we literally can, using a 3D printer, create more of these parts, right, to do this repair here today. Okay, so I thought I was missing a screw, but here are some of the bits that I rescued from the first time I took it apart back on episode 2. And amongst all the junk, we have replaced the drive tray. Yay! So this guy is already starting to take shape now. Ah! Oh no! What's this? So at this stage I was proper bricking it, thinking that I'd broken apart from the actual optical reader or something. But looking back at the footage, you can clearly see where this guy has come from. So don't panic like I did. Right, so let's unlock this again. Pull the drive tray out. Now, this little copper is kind of like a bumper, right? And it goes here. And the idea of this is so it just kind of like pushes the drive towards the cogs, just to give it a smoother entrance. So officially that is the drive and tray rails repaired now. We just have to put this thing back together, which we just have to put this thing back together where there's still an awful lot of parts and screws. But come on, we can do this. Okay, so next stage is we've fully rebuilt the DVD drive, tray, and all the boards. We need to integrate this back into the actual Panasonic Q. So this guy is actually going to come back out. So I've put it back together, everything is now installed, and I mean, look at all these broken bits. This is all the junk bits that we rescued from inside the Q. Now, let's hope this guy still works. I'm nervous. Super nervous. Damn it! So as you can imagine, guys, seeing it not work as I planned was a massive blow, big disappointment. But you live and learn, and it was a whole next level of adventure going back into this thing about 5 or 6 times. I had to check every part. Did I put it back together right? I had to rewatch all of my video content. I tried loads of other things as well. I removed some of the excess grease that I used for the drive tray. Checked the mechanics of the tray. And one of the solutions that we kind of settled on is a common fault on the Panasonic Q, is the drive belt that you can see on the front. We've not touched this yet, but this is where I got into learning a lot about this Panasonic Q. So to replace the drive belt, you have to get all of these cogs off and these little fiddly metal hoops. So I ordered a replacement official band for this thing, or as official as I can. It's the part recommended. And I was hopeful this was going to be the thing needed. Okay, so after all that faffing, let's see if this works. So it's actually quite funny what you don't notice at the time of recording on these things. So here you can actually see the drive move a little bit, where it's actually getting some of that traction. Here it is in slow-mo. Definitely see it move, but it's getting caught. Maybe it's slipping. Yeah, I love this confused face. And it doesn't really show on this video that well, but what you can see is that as I'm pulling the drive, it is pushing itself, but it needs that jump start. So before giving up on this round, what I'm going to try to do is actually, what we perceive to be the problem is that this drive, right, this elastic band was strong enough for the old drive. It was strong enough for the old drive, but it's not strong enough for this. There's not enough torque, right? And it is a little bit loose, right? So it's just a test. I'm going to order some bands, some tighter ones, and see how we get on. So guys, this is where I'm at with the Panasonic Q project. I've replaced both sides of the rails and the main tray, which is why now aesthetically it looks better, right? The tray end stays on, it's clipped, it's no longer damaged. But the problem once I finished installing that is that now it won't open properly because it seems like it just doesn't have enough power. That drive motor that drives the tray, it just isn't enough. Once it's already open, it does it a little bit and close. So I tried replacing using official parts for the band, but it's not enough. It's slipping, it's a little bit too loose. I don't know. So the next step in theory is to use a smaller band to increase that grip and torque on the drive tray, and hopefully hoping that will work. So the bands that I'm using, I went on Amazon, bought a bunch of random elastic bands, kind of thing that you buy for your office. And inside that pack was these little yellow guys. So on examination, these are just a little bit smaller than the bands that are meant for the Panasonic Q. So I'm hoping that is enough to fully fix this drive tray and make it fully functional. Fingers crossed. Now, very fortunately, to get access to the drive belt, you don't have to do a full teardown on the Panasonic Q. You only have to go through the lid. So you don't have to take off the front, just the lid to get to the DVD drive to replace the band. Bit of a shortcut, and I didn't realise after doing it about 3 or 4 times myself. So definitely helps reduce the risk of further damage. We can see, so here's the band that I replaced already, and it still isn't enough grip. And actually, what's crazy is that it doesn't look like it's the right size band at all. I mean, look how loose that is. I mean, if we, and you can see as I'm moving it, this I'm not even sure if this is the right size band. It claims to be the original one, but look how loose it is. It's kind of, potentially is even getting away with the grips. Okay, so that's the band replaced with this guy. It definitely feels a bit better than the other one. So let's rebuild. So actually, you may have seen this guy just lurking in the background of these final video clips, but recently I purchased a old Sony PVM LCD monitor. It's not a CRT, so there might be some purists who are tut in right now, but it's still an awesome little panel with component video put in. And yes, I say component because I've also acquired, in my time between these videos, the official Nintendo GameCube component cable, which uses the digital output of the original GameCube models, including the Panasonic Q for the video. So for the slickest output possible on this machine. Fingers crossed, guys. Here we go. Okay, we have power. I've not broken anything. Here goes. Yes! Does it close? Sick. There we have it, guys. Right, where's the game? Oh, that looks so slick. Now, unless I've absolutely fluffed something big time during all of the, 8, 9 times I've unscrewed this thing, I should still be able to read games. Now, I know you probably can't see it in the video, but at this point I'm shaking with excitement, and I might even sound calmer in the video than I actually am. I'm freaking out. This has been my lockdown project, okay? It's been months of hard work. Even this video has been far delayed because of all the issues and challenges I faced in this particular stage, but I've done it, and look at it as a piece of hardware. The Panasonic Q, I've always aspired to have this machine. When it originally came out, I could never afford it. I mean, it is an I/O powerhouse in technology. Digital out, sub out, the optical out for the audio, everything. It's such an awesome piece of hardware. So I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't sure we were even going to get to this stage with this. I've got no experience with Panasonic Q or restoring games consoles, apart from doing a few Game Boy mods here and there, but every time I took this apart and did something, I was just fearful that I was going to break a ribbon cable, remove something, or blow a fuse, who knows. But I haven't. I've repaired the drive. I now have a fully working Panasonic Q in my collection, which is just awesome. Obviously, I've had help on the way, so thanks again to Steve at Retro Refurb for your backs and forths, your help, and of course the parts to complete this repair project. If you're looking to do something similar on your Panasonic Q or other games consoles, make sure you check out his store. The link will be in the description for you to go check out. And also thanks to Nicky Lamley's mate for sorting me out with the original Panasonic Q controller. It's in phenomenal condition. Thanks again. So that's pretty much it for episode 4. I'm going to continue this series as I do a few more bits. Like, I would love to get the top resprayed or replaced with a better condition part. And then obviously the front, the mirror's wearing away a little bit, the screw's a little bit rusted. If I can fix those, amazing. And maybe acquire some other bits, like maybe one day the box, get the remote, the official remote, maybe the dust cover for the Game Boy player, maybe even the Game Boy player itself. Who knows? So yeah, this will be an ongoing project, but for now, the main mission has been accomplished. So I hope this series has been beneficial and entertaining to you, with the blockers that I faced and how I overcame them, and to get to this stage. So if you're doing a similar project yourself, please reach out, drop some comments below if you've got any questions. Until next time, catch you later.